Hey, I'm Rob Brown, and I'm a results leader.
You're listening to ResultsLeader.fm. Being a thought leader is easy. Getting results is hard. This show is for the results leader who lives and dies by their results. Here is your host and Chief Results Leader, Jonathan Rivera.
Yes, y'all, you know what time it is. It's time for another ResultsLeader.fm. Welcome back. So glad that you are here, and I am going to treat your ears to another amazing interview. Today's guest I've known for years. He works in the financial services industry, and he has helped some of the most prolific advisors break free from their businesses, create businesses that run without them. I've got Mr. Rob Brown with us, author of the new book, Truest Fan, and a friend of the show. Let's jump in. Rob, my man, welcome to this show. Glad to have you here. Are you ready to rock this thing?
Yes, I am. I've been looking forward to this since we spoke a couple of weeks ago. This is going to be a great conversation.
Love it, man. So let's give our listeners a super quick win. What book or books have you given most as a gift?
Okay, now I just finished writing a book called Truest Fan, Live, Love, and Lead with Purpose and Impact. And I would be lying if I said I gave away any other book more than that. But in the interest of not being too self-serving, I thought about the book that I give away all of the time, and it's Gung Ho. It's a Ken Blanchard book on how to build great teams.
All right. That's the first time I hear that one. Thank you for that. And of course, Truest Fan should be out now, so you guys can get that Amazon or anywhere that books are available, I'm sure. And let's tell our listeners a story. Tell us a story of how an apparent failure set you up for later success.
Well, first, I feel pretty lucky because I find that I forget my failures. So it really takes me a lot to dig one up because I just try not to relive them or rehash them and all that kind of crazy stuff. But as I was thinking about our conversation, one of the things that really jumped out to me was at one point in time in my career, I was part of the executive leadership team of a firm that I was working for. There were four of us on this team. We had a big business, but we were owned by another financial institution, and they kind of had more control than we would have liked. And as I tried to exercise more and more of my ideas and have influence on the people that I was working with and around, I ended up having to quit. I ended up realizing that my role in life was not to be a corporate executive. It was to be somebody out there being able to do things the way that I like to do them, not the way that somebody else wants me to do them. So I'm not sure it's technically a failure. I guess it was a failure in terms of I saw myself going places. I saw myself, being a bigger and bigger leader inside of this organization. And I realized that wasn't the right thing. So I turned around and they were more than happy to have me go because I was a little bit of a pain in the you-know-what.
So there's some people out there that would argue that failure is an opportunity to learn. But how do you learn if you forget your failures?
Wow, that's a great question. I guess I just learned fast. I just want to just take what I got from the situation that I ran into that felt like it was going in the wrong way and just fix it and move on and not relive it over and over again. In my coaching practice, I see that sometimes with clients that I'm working with. They just don't want to move on from the failure. They want to keep rehashing it and reliving it. And I just don't think that does any good. So I think you just process it, you take it in. What did you learn from it? And then you go on.
Learn fast, move on. I like it. So what would you say is the most worthwhile investment that you have ever made?
Well, I'd have to say it's actually investing in the process of writing my latest book. It has been it's probably the top highlight of my working career so far. I'm just taking the time, investing the money in a coach to guide me through the process, to pull the book and those ideas out of me so that I could create something that is not only a benefit to my clients and other people that I serve, but just to the world at large. So I think that's the best investment that I've made.
And why did you decide to write Truest Fan?
I feel like we live in a world where we don't want to take responsibility for believing in ourselves, believing in others, sharing that love that our Creator has for us in all that we do. And so the concept of being a Truest Fan is that we're all called to be Truest fans of ourselves, of others, of God. And that's just a message that makes life easier when you have that foundation to move forward on. And it's not a unique message. It's a message that is as old as time. It's just my way to tell it. And that's what I want to do. I want to tell that my way.
In the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
Far and away, it is putting the most important things first. Too often when we're kind of putting together our plans, our business plans, our to-do lists, we just throw lots and lots and lots of stuff on there. And oftentimes that means that unimportant stuff that doesn't need to go first, goes first. And we don't work on what is most important for us. So I really try to think about the things that I'm doing in my business with my family as what is the most important thing and how can I work on that before anything else. And that way you get more done. You get the most important stuff done.
How do you determine what is that most important thing?
I think you have to tie it back to what your goals are, what your dreams are. You have to think about, what are the really big things that you're trying to accomplish in whatever endeavor it might be. And then as you do that, you shrink that back down to what are the activities, what are the things that I need to do, this quarter, this month, today to get that big thing done. And so I think that's the best way to do it.
What are some bad recommendations you hear in your area of expertise?
The recommendation that I hear that is the worst is that referrals don't work. I get so tired of people coming up with studies or statistics or just making things up out of whole cloth that referrals don't work. And I believe that referrals are, or at least for most businesses, one of the most important sources of business. And I don't like that. I don't like when people say they don't work anymore, because even my clients who are investing the most in alternative marketing ideas look at the bottom line at the end of the year and they say, the biggest percentage of our business comes from referrals, recommendations from our clients, from our centers of influence, those people that know what we do and know that we're open for business and looking for new business.
What would you say to those people out there who say you can't grow a business or can't have a predictable business if you're just doing referrals?
I don't think that's true. I think you can run a referral only business, but you have to look at some of the metrics that and the ways that you're trying to grow to be able to match that up. What I find is that if a client commits to generating referrals, they can often fill their pipelines, overflow their pipelines with enough referrals to be able to hit their goals. I just don't think that's true. But I also know that there are people who say things like seminars don't work anymore, or, Facebook advertising doesn't work. And I know plenty of advisors who grow very successful businesses through seminars or through Facebook advertising, and they choose not to focus on referrals. And that's okay. But I just don't like the idea that referrals don't work, because they tend to be the biggest and the best clients when you add that process into your business on a regular basis.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for a public service announcement. We're going to get right back into the show, but I wanted to ask you a question. If you have been listening to the show for any amount of time and you've picked up even one single tip, then I need your help. Get the word out. Tell people about resultsleader.fm. Share it on social media, share it on your email, share it anywhere. #ResultsLeaderFM. Now let's jump back into the interview. let's talk about results. Why do results matter?
Well, I'm not sure why you would be in business if you didn't want to get results. It's funny sometimes because as I'm working with a client, sometimes they can't picture what their future success will look like. They can't wrap their arms around it because they're so caught up in what they feel like they need to do on a day-to-day basis. But then when I'm able to get them to figure out what it is they're really looking for, what's that big thing they're really after, and then we measure their key performance indicators, watch them check their results off item by item by item. They start to get results right away. I actually recently, I took a trip to visit a few clients because we hadn't been able to do that a lot last year. And I was sitting down with the client who would be probably a classic example of somebody who had a horrible time looking ahead, thinking about results, thinking about what the possibilities really were for their business. And when we sat down to have a little brainstorming session, the first thing I said, let's look back at your results. And they had quintupled their business over the last 4 years and didn't even know it. But they were celebrating the success they were having along the way, but they never stopped to think, we've actually quintupled our business. That's an amazing, amazing thing, amazing results. And it comes from working hard and staying focused on the most important work.
In the last 5 years, what new realization has helped you get better results for your clients?
One of the things that I really help my clients focus on is, can they build a business that can run without them? Too often with business owners, with the clients or prospective clients that I run into, they're so tied to the results of their business. They're doing all the marketing, they're doing all the client engagement, all the big stuff, and they're not letting other people on their team who are capable and being paid to do other things do them. And so I really help them understand, how can you build a business that will run without you? And I think when you build a business with that mindset, you're really building greater lifetime value for your business. You have many, many more opportunities with what you can do with your time in your business and outside of your business, and you have more success. So that's just been a real big thing for me, is just getting people to think, what would your business look like? Or how can you build your business in a way that it could run without you?
Why do you think that they are not letting other people on the team do their thing?
I think it's ego. I think a lot of times people build businesses. They work hard. They put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and they just see themselves so attached to everything that's happened that they just have a hard time letting it go. And I think that's true in a lot of things. I know I've experienced that myself in my career, where you just felt like, I've got to do it all. If we're going to have success, it's going to be me that gets that success done. And it's too much ego. It's selfish too, because there are lots of people out there, probably people already on a lot of the teams or in the companies that I work with, who can get it done.
What are some of the biggest benefits you've seen when these business owners let it go?
They're growing faster. I don't think there's any doubt that when the clients that I work with begin to delegate, begin to give other responsibilities to other members of their team, then they're focusing on higher level activities, the true things that are most important to their business. So their businesses grow faster. They get to their kids' baseball games more often because they're not working late into the night every night trying to catch up on every little thing that needs to get done. They have greater freedom, and freedom is a big thing.
Let's turn this inward a bit, Rob, and share with us what area of your business you would like better results.
Right. Well, what I want to create better results in is actually getting my message out to more people and leveraging this whole concept of a truest fan. My coaching practice is somewhat insular. I work with a relatively small number of clients, and we do a lot of work one-to-one. And I haven't built out yet that platform, whether it's a membership opportunity or online courses that allow me to get that message out to more people without me having to do it one-to-one. It's not that I haven't done any of that. I have stuff available, but it hasn't been the right thing yet. So that's my that's where I want to have some results over the course of the next couple of quarters. That's what we're working on right now.
What results are you most proud of?
I am my clients' greatest fan. So the results that I am the most proud of are my clients' results. My business would be nothing if my clients weren't reaching their big dreams, achieving their big goals. So when I talk about that client who quintupled their business, that is just solid gold for me. It just means the world to me. So that's really how I think about my success. My success is reflected in the success that my clients are having, and my greatest frustrations come when they aren't.
Any parting thoughts you want to share with the results leaders who are listening to us right now?
Yeah, don't be afraid to dream big and really go after those things that you really want. It's so easy to get caught up in what's the best online marketing strategy, and you can just spare yourself in the minutia. And that's just one example. But there's some really big things out there that results-oriented people have the capacity to achieve much more quickly if they just dream big. Think about what their really big goals are and constantly keep those in mind. I love reminding my clients when we're working on, a new set of goals for the upcoming quarter, that's saying, well, how does that relate back to the big goal, to what you're really trying to accomplish in your business, the difference that you're trying to make in your business or in your family or in the community that you serve. I think that's really, really important if you're going to get results.
Got to know, man. After listening to this, I know people are going to want to track you down. Where is the best place to get connected with you?
Okay, so there are two places. I would love for everybody that's listening to buy 3 copies of Truest Fan. One for yourself, because you're going to love it. One for somebody that you love, because you're going to read something in that book that is going to help somebody that you know. And then one that you keep in your car, your briefcase, wherever, that you can give away to a stranger when you see somebody that's down and they want to pick me up. So go to truestfan.com and pick up 3 copies of the book. That is my number one place to send you. Number 2, if you want to learn more about my coaching business, you can go to EncorePartners.com. That's my main business in which I do coaching work.
I will make sure, actually, the team will make sure that all the links are included in the show notes. I'm not going to take credit. They do all the work. But it's been a pleasure catching up with you, Rob. It's been a pleasure watching you on your journey, see you come so far. Thank you for spending some time with us. And thank you, results leaders, for tuning in. That is a wrap for another edition of ResultsLeader.fm. If you are out there getting results for your clients and you want to be featured on the show, go to ResultsLeader.fm now and apply to be on the show. And if you love what you're hearing, share the show, give us a rating and review, do anything to help us get the message out there. Thought leadership is easy, but results leadership is hard. We'll catch you on the next one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.